All right, so this is my story in 60 seconds. When I was 12, I started on Codecademy doing like HTML and CSS. I made a website that had like a picture of a bear on it and some random other stuff. I made the background color orange and I thought I was cool. When I was 13, I got accepted into this New York Times summer school in the US. And bear in mind, I lived in Malaysia at the time and I didn't have any money to go and I couldn't get a job. So I started selling stuff. I made my first business. I launched a website where my friends could order Subway sandwiches to school because it was a half boarding school and so people didn't like the food, and I saw an opportunity and I took it, and actually people did want them. So that was my first business. It was profitable, made some money, and then eventually I shut down because the school caught on and they were complaining about too much outside food coming in. Then I relaunched it at 14 and I this time built out a proper backend. The first time I just used like a really simple front end and some Google Forms and stuff. The second time when I was 14, I built it properly. I had, two-factor authentication with email. You had like an in-credit system where you could send people money and stuff, but that relied on a prepaid model. So you'd pay me and I'd top up your account. Turns out students didn't like that. That kind of stopped, but the technical experience is super good. I tried day trading with another older friend when I was 14 with that little money I'd made from the first time running the business. Obviously, I lost everything like a complete idiot. I tried setting up a drop shipping store with that friend as well and realized neither of us wanted to spend on ads, so that kind of just shut down. Then I got a little bit into the academic side, like I was a proper nerd. So I got into medicine a lot, specifically neuroscience. I studied it a lot. I tried to do some research projects in medicine in general. I reached out to a local neurosurgeon actually, and I shadowed him. And so for a week I spent just with a neurosurgeon following him around and saw the surgery happen right in front of me. And I saw inside someone's brain. That was really cool. I wrote an essay that got me into a Cambridge summer school, but then COVID started. I couldn't go. So I did a research project into Bayesian machine learning with this PhD guy who was like a Cambridge fellow or something. Can't remember. I also joined a hackathon when I was 15 after this research project. And that's basically a weekend where people scrap together a product prototype as a startup and they pitch it to investors. And it was my first time building with React. If you're a developer, you'll know what that is. I worked a lot. People liked my work and they started hiring me as a freelancer. So that's how I got kind of my first paid jobs as a developer. That paid me about $2,000. I also interned at another startup around this time and did more SEO, business development related stuff. I co-founded an edtech startup when I was 16. I was basically acting as CTO. That was my first time kind of managing technical talent, like people under me. Wasn't managing a whole lot of people, basically other students. We did a podcast with that company, interviewed a bunch of people, CEOs of large corporations, Olympic athletes, startup founders, very cool people, and countless perspectives that I think were really, really valuable to me, especially over time. Eventually, I left the company at 17 because I basically disagreed with the direction they were going in and I thought things weren't going where it should be. Then I started dabbling in crypto and blockchain in that development space. I was curious, so I got into that. I went to a couple conferences. I went to New York, I went to Denver. That was actually my first time in the States. That was quite a trip. And then shortly after those kind of conferences, I founded this agency and started helping startups out with early stage products. It's been a year and a half where I've been like actually full time on it. And between all that, there were countless other projects which I started and stopped. So like things like podcasts, random side hustles that made no money, and other like academic programs. I did a lot of stuff, dabbled a lot, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So now I'm 19. I run this software development agency. We work especially with startups, but with companies of all sizes as well. And I'm having a great time. We work remotely. I've got an awesome team, still growing it, and really enjoying kind of just the process. And I started documenting stuff on YouTube just because I think it'd be really cool to document the stuff that I'm doing, the way I'm thinking. And it'll also be really cool to reflect on later, like 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 36 months from now, to look at the way I was thinking about things today and see that evolution of thought process. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess.